Hello, everyone. I'm going to put the link in chat if anybody wants to come up here. That is perfectly fine. How has everyone's New Year's went? I do have a lot to go over today. I still haven't been feeling good, so I kind of neglected to make the videos beforehand. Gotta wait on a couple of people to come in here. If anybody wants to come up and tell their story about being bullied, or if somebody has
tell their story about being.
There goes my phone clicking in. The link is there. If anybody wants to come up and tell their story about being bullied or how they stopped someone from being bullied, every word about anti-bullying counts for something. I really wish there was a list on StreamYard that actually showed who was in chat. That would be very helpful. And Mars, whenever you get in here, I couldn't really find very much about transitioning from homeschool to public school as far as it goes with bullying. So the discussion about that is basically just going to be a discussion about what we can do to help the children transition into public school from homeschool, be it as a parent or a teacher or, just somebody that knows the child. I'm wondering if YouTube even sent out any notifications. I also have a lot of statistics and stuff on cyberbullying for the LGBTQIA community. One thing I've also noticed during my research into bullying is there is a lot of known places, organizations, and stuff that actually have anti bullying side projects, like Allstate, for one. So if you use Allstate as your insurance, you can probably find some information out from them about their anti bullying stuff. And I don't know if they've got like pamphlets or posters or if they have meetings about it, or maybe lawyers or something associated to them. I don't really know, but I do know that they have the anti-bullying projects. I think that's kind of pretty cool, especially when it's somebody that's like well known. Then um, Walmart also has an anti-bullying project that is on the side. And from what I've seen, they do a lot of donations and stuff to schools that help them teach anti-bullying in the classrooms. I don't really know how much is used of that. Like, I couldn't find a percentage, but at least it is another resource for this cause. I'm starting to wonder who else is live and if I picked a bad time to set this. I can always reschedule for later if I have to. I guess I'll just give it a couple more minutes. So while I'm waiting on people to join, because I literally technically have all night. Well, not really. I'm still sick, so I'll probably end this at a decent hour, of course, but there are. Okay, I got it pulled up on my phone to see if anybody else comes in. Because right now, I think I'm literally talking to myself. But that's okay, because it's about awareness, and being an individual bringing awareness is perfectly fine too. Being a group or alone, we can make a difference, and we will. So I'm going to read this little bit for whoever decides to watch later. Oh, well, okay, somebody come in. Hello. On this part right here, the first part that I want to go over is the fact that you are not alone. Like, that is one of the things and all the resources that I have come across with bullying is that it is important for the person being bullied to know that they are not alone. And a lot of them don't have like family support and stuff like that. Some of them simply because they are scared to tell, and some of them just because the families are not involved and they could care less. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. So, knowing that other people are out there and going through it is very important. And I have dropped the link in case anybody wants to come up and tell their story. I'm currently on another tab, so if you do, um, just type it into chat so I can switch back over and add you to the panel. I'm still trying to learn all this tricks and stuff of the trade with StreamYard. But with 1 out of 3 students being the target of bullying, it is a worldwide epidemic. Many have thought of bullying as a rite of passage, but in fact, it has serious mental and physical consequences that have long-lasting effects. If you are feeling bullied, you are not alone. Here are some ways to reach out. Create a no bully club at your school. Find other students who care and invite them to form a campaign team to make your school bully-free. Use your first meeting to figure out what types of bullying are most frequent at your school and use the no bullying definitions of bullying to help you. And I will post this thing on my community page. And it says 1 is in chat, so hello. Then you can find an ally. You can tell a parent, a neighbor, a relative, a friend, or a school counselor. Being bullied feels many times worse if you try to endure it alone. You can find a student-focused Facebook group on bullying. If you search Facebook, you will find several groups that you can join. Now, I do have to put in my own little warning to that. There are a lot of trolls that hit the anti-groups, be it anti-bullying, anti-racism, whatever. There is a lot of trolls that hit those groups. And for the most part, on the ones that I have seen, the admins and stuff do take care of it. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to see it before it's taken care of. So joining a public group like that is not like school-based or office-based, really important to just, watch out for the trolls. You can write a petition. This should call on your school principal to end bullying at your school. You or your campaign team can create it online at www.change.org. Or you can bring No Bully to your school. You, your parent, or a teacher can request that No Bully comes to your campus. And this No Bully program thing that I am talking about is very good. Very good. They have a lot of information and they do go around from school to school. They hold little seminars and stuff like that. They have printable posters, just a whole bunch of stuff. And if you go to the website, hang on, I think I have a banner with it. Yeah, on this banner right here. If you go to that website, you can get a lot of information. Like, seriously, a ton of information. And you can enroll your school. And then your school can receive updates and tips. Like, it's just a lot of useful information. And if you're not part of the bullying, like being bullied or being the bully, then you bringing it to your school would be a very good way to advocate for it. And it also works. Some of these posters and stuff are great for our offices as well. And the parents and educators. You can reach out to Comparitech for free advice on parenting LGBTQ cyberbullying. Research has found members of the LGBTQ community are more likely to be bullied online compared to their peers. And I will eventually post that on my community page as well for the link to that website. And you can check out Straight for Equality, which is basically a free guide to be a straight ally. And you can join PFLAG, the first and largest organization for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people, their parents, and families and allies. There are over 400 chapters and 200,000 members and supporters. PFLAG is committed to creating a world where diversity is celebrated and all people are respected, valued, and affirmed. And then there is the cost of bullying. Bullying can cause its targets physical and emotional harm. It can have long-lasting mental health effects similar to child abuse in severity and long-term persistence, including depression, anxiety, eating disorders, shame, and suicidal ideation. Bullying adversely affects school performance. Students who bully are at an increased risk of school absenteeism, drug abuse, and criminality. Bullying is part of a continuum of violence. Unless uninterrupted, students who bully in the middle years of school are more likely to engage in dating violence and sexual harassment in the final years of school and beyond. All right, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had my pop brung into me, and then, of course, my psycho cat tried to break through and everything else. Now, back over here to this. Bullying brings massive social costs. Particularly at risk are students from racial and ethnic minority groups and religions, LGBTQ youth, and students with physical and mental disabilities. As nations across the world struggle to affirm social justice and integrate immigrant youth, bullying remains the vehicle by which diverse youth are isolated and marginalized. and the ways that bullying occurs. And there are so many subtopics to each one of these little topics. Like, I don't know, it just blew my mind. Physical bullying. That is when a student uses physical force to hurt another student by hitting, pushing, shoving, kicking, taking a student's belongings, or stealing their money. Verbal bullying is when a student uses words or gestures to humiliate another student by threatening, taunting, intimidating, insulting, sarcasm, name calling, teasing, slurs, graffiti, putting downs, and ridicule. Relational bullying is when a student isolates another student from their peer group by leaving them out, gossiping, spreading rumors, and scapegoating. Cyberbullying is when a student uses a cell phone, text message, emails, instant messaging chats, social media to bully another student in any of the ways described above. It also includes breaking into a student's electronic accounts and assuming that student's identity in order to damage their reputation. I know that's a big one with a lot of kids these days. They like to just get on each other's social media and stuff. I've seen a lot of that happening. But there is a helpline, and it should be on the banner as well. But it is 1-866-488-7386. If there is no one that you feel safe talking to and you have thoughts that your life is hopeless, please call this hotline to speak with someone. You are not alone, and there is always hope. Now, if you want to do, where did I go? Some anti-bullying things like handing out posters, stickers, bumper stickers, pencils. Like a lot of times when our kids are in school, they have like Halloween parties or Christmas parties, just different things where they have to like take a small gift or something to put in a bag for their friends. On Amazon, they have a ton of things that can be used as the small gifts. And I mean, kids are always needing pencils, and little ones, they love the stickers and stuff. So Amazon has some lot buys where you can buy like 24 pencils or like 150 anti-bullying stickers, just little things like that that, you know, you don't even have to wait for a Christmas party or anything. You can literally just get them. They are like super cheap, and just have your kid take them to school and hand them out to their little classmates. Or, you know, they can get the pencils, and when one of their little friends needs a pencil or something, that can be the one that they just give them. Or you can buy these stickers and, you know, little posters and pencils, and they have like the little pins that you can wear and stuff like that, and make like a little treasure chest thing for your child's teacher, that when a kid does something good, you know, they can pick a anti-bullying prize out of the box. There's a lot of ways that parents can get involved with the schools and make it work to where more information is getting out, and it's a fun way for the kids. You know, whoever takes snack day, for example, they can take their little chips or cookies or whatever and then give everybody an anti-bullying pencil to use. Or you can make like Christmas cards. You can have your kids make Christmas cards or Halloween cards, Valentine's Day cards, and have a little anti-bullying message put on the inside of it. There doesn't have to be an occasion to advocate for anti-bullying, but if there is an occasion, you can incorporate anti-bullying into it. And that's the same with racism or anything. Whatever your message is, you can easily start this with younger children. And then it kind of changes the way people see the world as they grow. And then I want to discuss what kids can do, because a lot of kids feel like they are helpless, like they're too young to do anything, or that they're not old enough to have their words matter. And the sad thing is society has really pushed that onto our youth. Let a grown up do the talking. Speak when you're spoken to, kind of thing. We're now into 2023, but as of 2022, I would go into Walmart or the dollar store or something and still hear parents talking to their kids like we was back in the 1800s. That's not a way to give a child a voice. And if you're taking away their voice at a very young age, as many parents that don't want to hear this, I've said it to quite a few, and they were like dumbfounded that I had the balls to say it to them, but I literally say it to so many people. If you take away a child's voice when they're young, don't expect them to have one when they're older. Like, you can't tell a kid to shut up and then tell them to speak up. And the people like me, like Chaotic Beauty, Stoned Gator, Mamita Alicia, there's so many, Sunny Justice, Adam, so many people that I could literally make a huge long list of other creators that are out there trying to bring information front and center. They're trying to give people voices. But the problem is, a lot of times in the back of those people's heads, it's literally somebody telling them to shut up and sit down. And we need to change that. That's the one thing that we need to change. Do not take away a child's voice when they're young and they're trying to express it. Because later, they're not going to tell you when they're being bullied. They're not going to tell you when they've been hurt by something. They are not going to have that open conversation technique going on with you so that they will inform you if their boyfriend or their girlfriend is smacking them around or something. Taking away a child's voice very young in life is wrong. Plain and simple. It's just wrong. But there is a lot of things that kids can do. Hey, Mamita Alicia. I just mentioned you. I mentioned some others, so maybe they'll come along too. If you want to come up on panel, I put the link in the chat, and I have literally had nobody in here. I've been talking alone. So yeah, it's right above you if you want to jump on. I mean, if your kids are up and all that, I get that. No pressure.
Absolutely. Oh.
Hey there.
I am actually unexpectedly going to celebrate Christmas. Oh, hold on. I had to close out my YouTube. But I figured it was easier to just hop on quick and tell you than try to type and walk out the door.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What? Oh, shit. I can't share it out. Once I hop down, because I'm about to have to hop down, I'll go share it out and hopefully people will come.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've literally done this, 30 minutes like talking to myself, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
no,
at
it's
Walmart.
fine. It's fine because a big part of my channel is also telling people you don't have to be part of a community in order to bring awareness. Like you can
Oh,
do it by
yes,
yourself. So
for sure.
me up here going over this information by myself, I'm good with it. Like somebody will see it eventually.
Well, I have to hop down because I'm about to be driving. I'm gonna go share it, and then if you're still live when I'm done, um, I'll pop back in. Otherwise, I will definitely catch the replay. But thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you. And we
Awesome.
are going to put an end to the bullying, BS, and the chat segregation. I have faith in us.
Yes, that is our goal for this year.
All right, love. I will see you later.
Okay.
All
Have
right, bye.
fun. Be safe. Okay, and I gotta figure out which tab I was on. But hopefully hopefully she will come back up because she has a lot of good advice and she tells it how it is, which I really respect that a lot. Okay. Let's see. Working with our kids. Where was my tab? Okay. What kids can do. Treat everyone with respect. That is the main goal. And it does not matter where you are, who you are associated with, who you don't like that's in the room. As long as you treat everybody with respect, it's simple. There would be no bullying. Nobody should be mean to others. Stop and think before you say or do something that could hurt someone. If you feel like being mean to someone, find something else to do. Play a game, watch TV, or talk to a friend. Talk to an adult you trust. They can help you find ways to be better to others. Keep in mind that everyone is different, not better or worse, just different. If you think you have bullied someone in the past, apologize. Everyone feels better. And what to do if you think you are being bullied. You can look at the kid bullying you and tell him or her to stop in a calm, clear voice. You can also try to laugh it off. This works best if joking is easy for you. It could catch the kid bullying you off guard. If speaking up seems too hard or not safe, walk away and stay away. Don't fight back. Find an adult to stop the bullying on the spot. Now, if you're a grown up and you're bullying, finding another adult, there's plenty of us around. There's plenty of us around that will say something. You know, standing up for bullies and stuff. If we lose a few along the way or whatever, like that's good. Because I, for one, I will say something. Then a couple of things that you can do to try to stay safe in the future. Talk to an adult you trust. Don't keep your feelings inside. Telling someone can help you feel less alone. They can help you make a plan to stop the bullying. And I do have the plan on a link somewhere on my community page that can be downloaded to help you get that started. Stay away from places where bullying happens. This can be kind of hard, but it can be done. Stay near adults and other kids. Most bullying happens when adults are not around. And protect yourself from cyberbullying. Bullying does not always happen in person. Cyberbullying is a type of bullying that happens online or through text messages or emails. There are things that you can do to protect yourself. Always think about what you post. You never know what someone will forward. Being kind to others online will help to keep you safe. Do not share anything that could hurt or embarrass anyone. Keep your password a secret from other kids. Even kids that seem like friends could give your password away or use it in a way that you don't want them to. Let your parents have your passwords. I know nowadays a lot of parents have their kids' stuff linked to them, but asking the kid for their password or helping them set up a password that is easy to remember for both of you, that creates a parental bond. It shows the kid that you're there, that you care, but it also shows them that you expect them to be respectful at all times online, but that you will also be there to have their back if they are getting bullied. So, setting up a password together has more to it than just preventing bullying. Think about who sees what you post online. Is it complete strangers, friends, friends of friends? Privacy settings let you control who sees what. Talk to an adult you trust about any messages that you get or things that you see online. And some of these can just be things that make you sad, things that scare you, things that just don't seem right. But if it is cyberbullying, report it. And report it to somebody that can help you get it to the right place to make it stop. You can also stand up for others. When you see bullying, there are safe things that you can do to make it stop. The key word there is safe. Always keep your safety in mind. Talk to a parent, teacher, or another adult that you trust. Adults need to know when bad things happen so that they can help. Be kind to the kid being bullied. Show them that you care by trying to include them. Sit with them at lunch or on the bus. Talk to them at school or invite them to do something. Just hanging out with them will help them know that they are not alone. And getting involved. You can be a leader in preventing bullying in your community. Find out more about where and when bullying happens at your school. Think about what could help. Then share your ideas. There is a good chance that adults don't know everything that happens. Your friends can go with you to talk to a teacher, a counselor, a coach, or a parent, and they can add what they think as well. Talk to your principal about getting involved at school. Schools sometimes give students a voice in programs to stop bullying. Be on school safety committee. Create posters for your school about bullying. Be a role model for younger kids. There is a link to posters that is on the community page. And you can also just do a class or office project to where, you meet up one time a month and just make new posters for your office or whatever, your classroom. And then I have some LGBTQIA plus community bullying statistics and some information to go over. And then I will get into helping kids learn about bullying that takes place in school after they have been homeschooled, because that is a big step in kids' lives. And especially after everything that we've come through with the shutdowns and stuff, kids, they did their first couple of years in homeschool, the safety at home, and then they get tossed out into the world, public schools or even private schools or whatever, but they get out there, they haven't had the experiences, they don't know what to expect. So I'm hoping by that time Mars will actually be back in here. Maybe she has some ideas or something. But this little section is about LGBTQ plus cyberbullying, and it's a guide for parents and educators, but technically really anyone can get involved with it. LGBTQ plus youth are at higher risk of being bullied online. There is a lot of statistics that go behind this. Online bullying is an issue for many people who spend time on social media networks and other internet forums. Those who haven't been a victim of cyberbullying have most likely witnessed it or even participated in it at some point. Members of the LGBTQ community are more likely to be bullied online than their peers. This is a particular concern among LGBTQ plus youth who may already be facing offline issues, be it at home or at school. And my 2 cents on this, I have actually had, I want to say something like 14 to 20 emails from LGBTQIA plus youth that has emailed me and asked me if I thought what they were going through was them being bullied. And some of it was just like, spitting paper wads and, from the back of the room up to the front, hitting them in the neck or whatever. Some was leaving nasty notes in their backpacks or in their lockers. People trying to get a friend of theirs to move away from them in the lunchroom to go sit with another crowd. Some of it was physical, some of it was emotional, some of it was, a mixture of both. Some of it was total discrimination against their gender identities or their sexual orientations. And I had these kids writing to me and asking me if they was being bullied because so-and-so was going on. And unfortunately, I had to say yes to all of them. I don't remember the exact number. It was between 14 to 20. And every one of them got a yes. They also got links for support groups, different places. Hey, Chaotic. I have the link there if you want to come up. It's pretty much just us, Chaotic. I was just going over the statistics for the LGBTQIA community, which there is a lot of statistics related to that. But there's that link if you want to pop up. Hey, October. You too. You're more than welcome to come up and tell stories about bullying or anything that y'all think is important to say. Obviously, everything is important to say. Did y'all have a good New Year's? Gator come in. Okay, so some of this statistics and stuff for the LGBTQ cyberbullying, there's a lot, literally a lot, but I'm only going to go over a few. And most of these come from the CDC, GLSEN, and the American University, and the AAP. They are known very highly for their studies, their surveys and stuff that they put out. And it says that over 48% of the LGBTQ students were cyberbullied via text message or social media in the past year. 13% reported experiencing cyberbullying often. 10% of LGBTQ teens have skipped school to avoid being bullied, whereas 6% of heterosexual teens have done the same. This can lead to a lower level of education attainment among LGBTQ youth. More than 1 in 5 teens who are unsure of their sexual orientation have experienced online bullying. High school students identifying as lesbian, gay, or bisexual are more than 4 times as likely to attempt to off themselves as compared to their heterosexual peers. LGBTQ youth experience increased online victimization as they age, whereas heterosexual youth don't. LGBTQ youth are at greater risk than other minority groups of having mental health problems as a result of cyberbullying. And I will say that that is not the rate of them having the depression, anxiety, and stuff like that because they are part of the community. It's what they suffer from because of what people inflict on them for being part of the community. LGBTQ youth are at hang on, I already read that one. Black LGBTQ youth are at higher risk of mental health issues associated with cyberbullying, as well as other types of bullying, as compared to non-Black LGBTQ youth. 56% of Black LGBTQ youth are considered at risk for depression, and 38% experienced thoughts about offing themselves within the past year. 62% of trans masculine and 49% of trans feminine adolescents have depressive disorders. The most common mental health issue among transgender children are anxiety disorders and attention deficit disorders. And that right there is just the short list. The list literally went on. There are forms of LGBTQ cyberbullying. Much like offline bullying, cyberbullying can appear in various forms. Even seemingly mild taunts can be a severe psychological impact on any youth. And as reinforced by some of the statistics that I just went over, LGBTQ youth are at greater risk of being cyberbullied and are more likely to suffer mental health issues as a result. Some of the problems that they may face online: spreading false information, distribution of sensitive or embarrassing messages, photos, videos, or, as in the tragic case of Tyler Clementi, even live streams. Revelation of information that is intended to be private, for example, being outed by a peer. That was reportedly the reason that 16-year-old Channing Smith decided to off himself in 2019. online polls designed to cause distress to the subject, groups or pages designed to torment victims, platforms like Facebook Pledge to prevent hate speech, but their tactics are considered largely ineffective, threats of violence, or other unwanted actions. So if there's anybody that wants to talk about their kid that was bullied or themselves or anything, the link is there. A majority of teens have been the target of cyberbullying, with name calling and rumor spreading being the first or the most common forms of harassment. And this is the percentage of the U.S. teens who have said that they have experienced it, just on their online or on their cell phone. That any type of cyberbullying listed below that I'm about to go over is 59%. Offensive name calling, 42%. Spreading of false rumors, 32%. Receiving explicit images that they did not ask for, 25%. Constant asking of where they are, what they are doing, who they are with by someone other than a parent, that was at 21%. Physical threats at 16%, and having explicit images of them shared without their consent was at 7%. That percentage is actually really high, considering that the community is a minority. So the higher the numbers, that means more people were really dealing with this stuff. And it's sad. It needs to stop. Cyberbullying and offline bullying. Online and offline bullying have a lot of similarities, but they do have a few differences too. For one, online bullying itself doesn't involve physical interactions, although it's not uncommon for online and offline bullying to occur side by side and for the latter to become physical. Another difference between the two is that online bullying can often be more difficult to avoid or escape. Access to smartphones, tablets, and computers means that the bullies can follow the victims wherever they go, be it home, school, or even on vacation. Victims would have to avoid the online world completely to escape cyberbullying, but even then, the bullying can still be taking place behind the scenes unbeknownst to the victim. This type of restlessness can really take its toll on victims of cyberbullying. There is literally no safe haven for them to escape to. Exposure is another big difference. Offline bullying often happens in private or in front of a limited crowd of people. In contrast, online bullying has a much broader potential audience. This can lead victims to overestimate the exposure and conceive that more people are witnessing the bullying that really are. One more thing to note about online versus offline bullying is the mentality of the bullies. The online world offers a level of anonymity, that the offline world doesn't, which can lower the inhibitions of cyberbullying. People who wouldn't dream of carrying out offline bullying can gain a sense of bravado when sitting at their computers. And I think that we have all been witnessing a lot of that going on here lately. So the panel is also open to anybody that wants to talk about YouTube bullying. Like, this channel is about awareness. So if you have something to say, you are totally free to say it. Laws surrounding cyberbullying. Some of these laws really piss me off too. I've been looking into a lot about this, and it's like everybody knows that cyberbullying is a thing, like it's a legit thing, and so many places don't even have laws that cover it. Like, society should do a lot better. But on my community page, there is a map, and it has different colors on it, and it tells you if your state has laws, if they have policies, or if they have nothing. And I found that map to be, well, I say interesting, but I don't mean interesting in a good way. In some countries, there are specific laws that explicitly cover cyberbullying, but even in countries where these are lacking, many acts on online bullying can be prosecuted under existing laws. For example, LGBTQ cyberbullying might involve violent threats, child pornography, depending on the jurisdiction, any sharing of pornographic images or videos involving a child, even if distributed by the child themselves, could result in a child pornography charge. Sending sexually explicit photos or messages, recording a video or taking a photo of a person in a place where privacy would be expected, stalking, harassment, and hate crimes. With that in mind, there is some information about existing laws in various countries that may be used to prosecute cyberbullying. In the US, most US states do have laws and policies that cover cyberbullying specifically. However, these vary greatly in terms of scope and penalty. You can find out about the bullying and cyberbullying laws for each of the states at stopbullying.gov. Their website is amazing, but the map is on my community page. In the UK, there are no specific laws covering cyberbullying. However, there are laws that cover some criminal acts that may be included in cyberbullying. These include the Communication Act 2003, the Computer Misuse Act of 1990, the Protection from Harassment Act 1997, the Malicious Communications Act of 1988, the Public Order Act of 1986, and the Obscene Publication Act of 1959. To me, that sounds like the UK kind of has it going on. They may not just, specific laws, but I think they kind of got it covered with all of those acts. Canada, it's similar situation in that no laws explicitly discuss cyberbullying. However, the Government of Canada website does list related crimes that may be punishable, and these include harassment, threats, intimidation, identity fraud, extortion, counseling, suicide, and incitement of hatred. Australia laws offer a bit more clarity, but Australia is still kind of iffy as well. The Criminal Code Act of 1995 makes it an offense to use social media, the internet, or a phone to harass, menace, or cause offense. If convicted, the perpetrator can face up to 3 years in jail or a fine of more than 30,000 AUD. Australian stalking laws can also be applied to online bullying and carry hefty maximum penalties. In addition to country laws, many schools have policies in place that address cyberbullying. For example, in many U.S. states, schools must include cyberbullying in their respective anti-bullying policies. And online platform policies against LGBTQ cyberbullying. There is no denying that much of the cyberbullying taking place on social media and messaging platforms. Hey Gator, there's a link if you want to come up and join me. Like, for real. Although pretty much any platform that allows for open conversation, for example, online games, forums like Reddit and Quora, and even dedicated LGBTQ forums themselves could open the door to bullying in some shape or form. Let me switch over here to StreamYard. You know, my name really fits me. Like, I have not been silent for like an hour. Yes, Gator, I have literally been up here for an hour talking to myself for the most part of it. But that's okay. Like, I'm good with that because of the simple fact I have always said on this channel that communities can, you know, do amazing things, but individuals can too. Like that's a solid thing on this channel. You don't have to be part of something to make a difference. And I've literally spent like, I don't know, it was like 30 something minutes up here talking to myself before Alicia come on for a second. And then y'all okay. Yeah, I get it. I said that at the beginning of it. Like, YouTube does not like to send out my notifications. Okay, I gotta find my place again. So, what protections do LGBTQ youth have against cyberbullying when using these platforms? The good news is that most platforms prohibit cyberbullying using some wording or other in their terms of use. Plus, lots of sites have methods in place to report bullying behavior, as well as options for blocking messages and comments from specific users. Oh, I'll be off of here before that hour. Like, I'll jump over to you. Like, I'll listen to you talk because I'm kind of tired of hearing myself talk. The downside is that many of these platforms don't have a great reputation for backing these policies, and we have literally all seen that on YouTube. Like, that's a thing. YouTube policies suck. But then again, so does Facebook. In addition, some of the platforms themselves have been accused of discriminatory behavior. For instance, reports suggest that Instagram actively censors some queer content through shadow bans. These bans don't remove the images, but instead strategically hide them from users. The recently popularized video creation and sharing platform of TikTok has also been accused of censoring LGBTQ content. Yeah, I didn't get to bed until like early this morning, but I blame that on Chaotic. She kept me up all night. So, with all those censoring and things going on, keep in mind that there are things that is said on these platforms. Yes, you can just totally listen to me in the background, like, you know, yeah, I'm just that little nagging voice, you know, going on in your car with you. But thank you so much for tuning in. In Facebook's community standards, a section regarding bullying and harassment includes guidelines that the types of content that are not tolerated. One relevant statement reads, "Do not target private adults who must self-report or any private minors or involuntary minor public figures with claims about romantic involvement, sexual orientation, or gender identity." So did y'all get that little, clause in there? Do not target private adults who have to self-report on Facebook. So basically, they are not allowing us as a community against bullying to go in, see a post, and report it on behalf of somebody that may not have their voice, being heard at that moment, or scared to use their voice, or convinced that they just have to put up with it. So that is the guidelines to Facebook. Twitter covers cyberbullying under its hateful conduct policy that states, you may not promote violence against or directly attack or threaten other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, caste, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease. We also do not allow accounts whose primary purpose is inciting harm towards others on the basis of these categories. I am on a live right now. These kids are going to get to me. It explains that it aims to curb abuse that is motivated by hatred, intolerance, or prejudice, such as abuse that targets under, hang on. I'm going to mute for just a second. Talk amongst Okay. Yeah, that was about a burger order. Okay, so back over here. Okay, the one for Twitter. It explains that it aims to curb abuse that is motivated by hatred, intolerance, or prejudice, such as abuse that targets underrepresented communities. It specifically calls out the LGBT community in its rationale. Instagram. Instagram is another one where there is always a lot of bullying going on. Oh, I hope your head starts feeling better, Gator. I've literally had a headache for like 3 days and it's just not going away. But I think mine is from that valve issue with my heart. So, Instagram community guidelines page includes a section titled Respect Other Members of the Instagram Community. This outlines the types of content Twitter will remove, including threats, hate speech, and content that intends to shame, degrade, blackmail, or harass private individuals as opposed to public figures for whom the rules aren't as strict. It also emphasizes that it is never okay to encourage violence or attack anyone based on their race, ethnicity, national origin, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, religious affiliation, disabilities, or diseases. And then how parents can support LGBTQ youth who are cyberbullied. LGBTQ youth may be less likely to inform their parents about online bullying. However, if you do suspect or find out that your child is being bullied online, there are some things that you can do to help them. You can offer support and talk to your child. Think twice before restricting internet use. Discuss ways that can navigate the online world safely. Introduce them to support networks and help to educate others. I'm going to quickly go into a little bit of detail about the second one because everybody sees something happening, you don't like it, you want to just pull your kids off of it. But there is a lot of good groups on the internet. Facebook has some amazing LGBT groups that children can be part of, and they are literally just there to support each other. The moderators do ban any person that tries to talk shit or whatever. So taking social media away from a child based on the fact that they may be bullied or that they have been bullied, that's not a win-win or a loss-loss either way, because there is some amazing things out there that can help the child. Peers in the group can convince the children to talk to their parents. I've actually seen that happen a lot, where kids would go into those groups, some of them that I'm in, and they want advice on how to talk to their parents or how to talk to their teachers about stuff. And if they don't have access to some things like that, they literally may never open up to their parents and stuff. So censoring it is very good. Having it connected to your devices, sharing passwords. There's a lot of ways to keep them safe without just not allowing them to have access, especially to some of the communities that are really good. And there are a ton of dedicated organizations that are designed to help the LGBTQ youth. The Trevor Project, for one. I'm a counselor there, and we get bullying calls all the time. The National Center for Transgender Equality, the Human Rights Campaign, the LGBT National Help Center, GLAAD, and PFLAG. Parents can reach out to any of those and get a ton of helpful information. And then on the last live, Mars wanted to know about from going from homeschool into public school. I have had a hard time finding, like written guides and stuff that's actually just out there to help with that. But in everything else that I have seen, communication is key. So when a child has started school, especially during the pandemic, and they are in homeschool, and then for whatever reason you decide to put them in public school or private school. Hey Jumbo, how are you? They don't have, their really young years of pre-K, kindergarten, whatever, to learn how to interact with other kids. And a child coming from homeschool into public school, their anxiety and stuff may be really high, and that allows them to be perceived as somebody that can be bullied, but it also can turn the other way and a child can become a bully. So talking to children before they start school into a public school coming from homeschool, everything that I have seen as far as ways to help, communication, talking to the young children. Hey Savannah. Talking to the children and explaining that it's going to be different from what they're used to with the homeschool has, from the statistics that I have seen on it, there's not much information about it, but from what I have seen, that the parents that actually discussed the difference with their children, and not just like the night before, like ongoing conversations, like for the summer before school starts or whatever, that those children have adjusted easier. And so I think my only advice would literally just be communication between the child and the parent or grandparents or aunts, uncles, whoever is there for that child. Because going from homeschool back into public school can be really tough. Like, my kids are homeschooled, and I don't think I will ever put them back into public school. But even at 14 and 16, if they was to go back to public school, even after all their years of public school, I really feel like I would have to have that conversation with them as well. If anybody has any stories to tell about being bullied or any advice, anything, there's a link that you can come up and speak your piece, because awareness is important and everybody has a voice over here. I don't care where you come from. If you want to talk about being bullied, or hey, if you even want to admit that you're a bully, like, I don't care. I will give you the platform to tell your story or right your wrong. Either way, I don't judge. And if nobody wants to come up, then I will probably just close this out and then go pester Gator, because I'm good at doing that. I know Gator has a lot to say. Okay, not at the moment then. Yeah, she mentioned that, Savannah. I'm going to be headed over there in just a little bit. Get to listen to somebody else talk besides myself. You can't really tell I am not a narcissist. I would much rather just listen to other people. Yes, the room is full of love. Hopefully it stays that way. How's them puppies doing, Jimbo? Shit, I'd come up on panel. I mean, I don't usually really have that much to say, but I can sit there like everybody else. The chore is literally just to keep my psycho cat out of the room. That's like my only battle. I have a glove and I put some stuffing in it and some catnip in it for him. And he has batted that thing around to where there's like little tiny pieces of catnip all over my floor. So no matter how much I sweep it, there's catnip in my floor. And when I throw his glove out of the room, he knows that those little tiny pieces of catnip is on my floor, so he still begs to get back in here. It's like I have created a monster. So how long until your life starts, Gator? About 30 minutes or so, right? Shit. Sometimes I wish I was allergic to this cat. Okay, so 35 minutes. Then I'm going to go ahead and end this. That way you can finish eating and, get ready for yours. Give everybody a chance to go to the bathroom or whatever and then head over to yours. Unless anybody has any final words that you want to put out there. Oh, okay. Then come on up here. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to hit that button. There you are.
Hello.
Hey.
I just wanted to say this. I never experienced bullying until I got to YouTube.
I've heard that from a lot of people, honestly.
It's pretty sad.
It really is. Like, when I was growing up, I was always in community things. Like, I was in basketball, I was in karate, I was in all these different things, and always still kept to myself. Like, I didn't put myself out there to where I could experience like the bullying and shit. And then even here on YouTube, like, I don't really get it. Like, not aimed at me yet. I know it eventually will be. But just seeing what other people are going through, like, it's devastating. It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah, but they know who the weak ones are. Like, they know who has mental health issues. They know who they can, really, really get to that, whatever. But, like, Jimbo, like, I'm not saying that all the people that they bully have mental, that's not what I'm saying. Like, they're going to always go for Jimbo, unfortunately, because he had a relation, a friendship with Ernie, probably.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody else, like, why bully the subs and the mods if you don't like the creator,
Exactly. I don't know. I think it's just kind of like a show for power. I mean, it only shows their true colors and everything, but I really think it's just a bunch of keyboard warriors that literally have nothing better to do with their life other than cause drama because drama sells.
And I don't get it because I have nothing to do with my life but sit here, and the last thing I'm thinking about is who I can dox today or who I can get a background check on. Like, I don't care about these people, especially enough to spend my a lot of time I do have searching up somebody.
Really, that is so true. It's like I could care less. Like, the only way it's going to hurt me is if I give that person power. And no one has power over me. I mean, literally. Like, they can dox me, they can do whatever they want. I have no record. I work home health. I have to have background checks every year. I'm, you know, well, kind of funny if I say I'm as straight can be, but literally, like, there is nothing that anybody could use against me other than, I don't have a filter and I will speak what I'm thinking. But yeah, like, I don't get how so many people can literally just give power to these people that technically don't have no power to begin with.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. That's why I just back away from it.
Exactly. Me too. Like, I'm so not into this drama thing. It makes no sense to me. I cannot find the logic in it at all. And going after Jimbo, like, saying that he's a pedo because he's a coach. No. That does not make somebody a pedo. That shows caring and kindness and wanting children to be able to express themselves in a form of a sport that they enjoy and that they love. And then
They
people,
call him a pedo because they say he's a pedo because he married a 12-year-old.
yeah, I've heard that, but I've also heard them say because he coaches
Oh,
that
whatever.
that he's like just trying to surround himself with children. And I'm like, no, like I grew up and I loved my coach. Like my coach was there for me literally when nobody else was.
That's right.
And it's wanting to give somebody a bad reputation on something that isn't so. And there is no proof out there that he is. And I stand by him. And, if that makes somebody come after me, then so be it. I literally have nothing that anybody can go after other than the fact I have no filter. But yeah, shit like that just really pisses me off.
I'm sure Jimbo can attest to this. A lot of times these kids don't have someone that they can go to, outside of life homes about stuff that's going on in the home. And a lot of times coaches can be that one person to these kids.
Exactly.
And for them to even say that is I mean, every day they just show how vile and insignificant they are.
Exactly. And I mean, it's only showing their character. Like everything. And I mean, I'm sorry, Jimbo. I'm using you as an example because that example is something that really pisses me off. And that's because of my relationship with my coach. Like, I literally got grounded one time. I snuck out to go watch the Smurfs at my friend's house. And that was like the worst thing I ever did as a kid. I was not allowed to watch the Smurfs and I really wanted to. So I snuck out and I got grounded. And we was in the middle of a tournament. And like 20 minutes before the game started, the coach was knocking on my door, begging my mom to let me go play. And that opened up for my mom to be able to talk to my coach. And then my coach was like, I'm a straight A student and I had a lot of activities that I was involved in school. And all of it was basically to benefit other students. Like I was the one taking the posters to school to hang up on the wall for anti-racism and stuff, like 3rd, 4th grade. And that opened my mom's eyes to what I was actually doing. I got ungrounded. I got to play. But had it not been for my coach, like my mom would not have even known everything that I was involved in school. And it was on the good side of stuff. I can only imagine how it would have been if there would have been bad things going on.
Yeah. See, Jimbo said it right there.
Yes, that right there is totally very, like, that's perfect. That is perfect. Like, you couldn't do more, and they should really just leave you alone. They really should. I know I'm kind of picking on you, but your whole situation really pisses me off. Like, it hits close to home because of the relationship I had with my coach. And if anybody would have been saying stuff like that about my coach, like, yeah, it would not have went over well at my school.
But not only is he a coach, but he's a substitute teacher. He deals with children every day, all day. Like, you know what I mean? In school and extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
If the county or anything ever thought anything suspicious, you know what I mean? Like there's no way he would be allowed on school grounds, much less in a classroom with children and on a court with, you know what I mean? Like this just don't make sense. And they need to stop with the 12 is 12 because of the simple fact of if the state legally married them, he has a wedding certificate. He is not anything close to a criminal like they say. It was legal. Exactly. He committed no crime. Just shut. I'm sorry, I'm burping because I was eating. Just stop with the hate, dude. Like, that's all there is to it. There is no 12 is 12. There's the law, it's the law, period.
Exactly. And, like coaching, like, for an example, a girls' basketball team, that puts a lot of stress on any coach, and especially a male coach. Because, number one, at some point, you're dealing with all those hormones. That right there alone, that would drive anybody crazy. But a lot of those, like, the girls on the basketball team and stuff, I've known a few of them that have joined a sports team that had a male coach because they wanted that father figure. They didn't have it at home. And any coach that stands up for children or teacher or, anything like that, like, that's just very honorable.
I just don't get the mental. I don't know. A lot of these people need to be mentally evaluated. I'm not saying that to be mean at all. I'm saying it by their actions. Actions speak louder than words in every situation. And it's just stupid. Like, it's useless nonsense. But hey, if it makes you money, it makes you money. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't.
Speaking of money, yeah, I'm going to be like a total ass and just randomly put my Cash App up because so many people are having issues with that. Like, I don't expect a penny, but I do want it just scrolling because
Yes,
that's part of my no filter.
I need I need a tragic pimp partner in crime.
Yeah, it's
If
like,
that makes any sense.
it really does because, like, I don't expect anything, like, at all. But damn it, it's on the screen because it can be. Plain and simple. But,
You
no.
deserve it for all the videos that you do on domestic violence and bullying and stuff. You deserve it. Put that thing up there.
Oh, yeah, I've been told that my channel is never going to go anywhere because I don't like intros and all these, background graphics and stuff like that. I'm like, that's not what this channel is about. I could easily create another channel that would get a ton of subscribers. I'd have to come up with something random, but I could easily do that. But I would much rather just put my time into research and actually answering emails that do help people instead of worrying about what my background is. I don't care what image I have behind me or in front of me for that matter. That's not what this channel is.
That's how it should be for everybody, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, nah. People have, they want to hold everybody to higher standards. And I'm like, literally, how much higher can my channel go with standards? Because I don't tolerate bullies. I don't tolerate racism. I don't tolerate things against the community. Like, how much of a higher standard is there? Even if my channel is one of the most boring, like, I don't care about that. That's not what I'm here for. So,
But YouTube is a big place. I mean, you can reach out to so many other people other than these people over here. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, you have the opportunity to reach out to so many people. So whoever told you that your channel is going nowheres, they can go nowheres with their channel because you have the opportunity to change lives of millions of people when they're dragging people. Like, mm, good outweighs the bad here. Like, it that's a good thing. So don't believe anything they're saying at all.
Oh yeah, I don't let what anybody says get to me really, because, like, I don't have like a lot of comments and stuff on the videos, but I do get a ton of emails, and I literally answer every one of those emails. And they all have links to resources or places for them to reach out. Sometimes it goes right down to their city, like what's in their town, and sometimes it's more of a statewide thing depending on their comfort level of what information they want to give me to work with. But I mean, I have received an email. It took me like 2 days to find a place, but it was a place up in Wyoming. I found this one lady. She had just left a domestic situation, and she emailed me and she's like, can you please help me find some resources? Like, the guy was part of the town, like really known and stuff like that. And I got her like food banks in her area, and like clothing banks, and like so many things to help her. And that's not something that I'm not reading her emails on here. I'm not really putting out her story because it's already something that has been taken care of. She emailed me again the other day and told me she finally got into an apartment, and because of the places that I had sent her for those other things, they helped her get furniture, and she went back to them and got help. Like, I don't care if what I do for other people is made public. Like, I know what I'm doing behind the scenes, along with the research that really drives me crazy.
I just think you should keep up the good work, and it's awesome that you reply to every email. That just shows that your character and how good of a person that you are.
Yeah,
And
I'd be up there at work pissing my boss off, replying to emails, telling him to hang on a minute. Yeah, like, it's crazy. But now for that puppy, like, starting tomorrow, everything's opening back up. I'm gonna be out trying to get my second job and stuff. Like, I really want that puppy. That puppy owns my soul. And I've already told my kids, like, I'm getting a second job. I'm getting more hours. Y'all gonna be doing this research for me, taking notes, and then I'm gonna do my videos. Like, I ain't stopping here, but I'm getting that second job.
I'm trying to tell Jimbo when they go over to California to see Mama T, he needs to bring me a puppy.
Yeah, no, he can just, bring them down and drop them off, have a cookout. Yeah, see, that would work.
Cross country road trip delivering puppies.
Exactly. Like, what could be better than that? Being in a car full of puppies. Like, that would just be like the highlight of anybody's day.
Across the whole country. You
Yeah.
have to like have
Yeah, just puppy pads and leashes and a big bag of dog food. Like, you got this. You got this, Jimbo.
Hey, we think it's a good idea.
Yeah, you can just do a whole cross-country live that, like, never ends, so we can see the journey of these puppies along the way. See, we got ideas.
Jimbo says, no Cash App, no travel. No Cash App, no travel.
Yeah. A 10-day trip across the country and Cash App on screen 24/7.
Yep. And we want puppy cam.
Yes.
We want to see the cam on the puppies the whole time.
But we also have to have a reaction cam on him because, he's going to be making faces and shit with that many puppies in the backseat.
He'll probably have the radio turned up on rock and roll or something just to drown out the whimpers of the puppies.
Yeah, and every 5 seconds it'll be did you shit in my car?
Hey, Jimbo, evidently it's possible, so why not? If others can do it, why can't you?
Yeah,
right?
You should. Like, go for it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And whoever says it's wrong, they shouldn't be doing it to begin with.
Hell, he can even leave Molly at home. He got grown children, 18 years old. I know they're not going to do that, people. So stop already before you start.
Oh, yeah. That was already clipped and going up somewhere. He's going to be abandoning his adult kids. Like, oh my God. I can already hear that shit.
Y'all know I may tell her.
Mine here, they're 14 and 16. And yeah, I go to work and leave their asses at home. Like, hell. Like, what are they gonna do? Make a sandwich and text me to bring them home a drink? My kids are really lazy though. They won't do anything at all, literally.
Well, we already know that Jimbo's the lazy one and that Thelma and the kids do everything for him. So the kids will be fine. They know what to do.
Yep,
They'll be fine.
they got this handled. Yep. He's done
And of,
whipped them enough that they know to sort that laundry right.
yep, and of course and how to slice them onions.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yep, can't forget that. I mean, Jimbo, you did teach them, to wear gloves and, cover their eyes and, all those protective hovering parent things that so do I. Like, I literally cut onions every day at work for the deli, and when I'm not there, nobody will cut them because they just know that the boss is going to gripe at them. So if I go in for my drink or something, they just like tell me there's an onion to be cut.
Yes, we know you like your onions thinly sliced. Well, I remember I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, they can go on an airplane, but there's actually it's kind of like a FedEx subdivision, something or another, that they only transport pets. They have people that, feed them and take them out and everything along the way, play with them, whatever. I was looking at that, but I don't know how much it costs. I didn't get that far into it. I would love a job like that, though.
I think it might be cheaper just to bring it. And plus, you get to see all of your friends. And plus, you get to see all of the country. And plus, you would just be doing a good deed because all your subs say so.
Exactly. Like, we know you're an amazing guy. Like, you don't have to prove it or anything, but if you want to bring puppies across country, like, we won't stop you.
That's funny. I'm going to drop down, guys. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I need to pick up my food plate and everything before I go live. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for having me up, Never Silent.
Thank you for coming over here. And I'm going to go ahead and close out too. That way I can go jump over there to your channel and continue to pester Jimbo over there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So I'm going to close out, guys. Thanks for being here, and I will see y'all hopefully over there in a little bit at Gators. Thank y'all for being here. Stay safe.